Alright, yo, here we go. Little boy dreams. When I was a kid, I would have never thought that I would be a drug dealer or an addict. I seen myself as a fireman or driving trucks like my grandfather. At the time, as a child, you really don't know where your life is gonna end up. I never had a I never had a set foundation. My dad was never there. And for some reason grandpa could not fill that void. He was verbally abusive. Later on in life I will value our relationship because he had taught me a lot even though I didn't realize it at the time. By 12 by the age of 12 is when it started. I got with the older boys around the neighborhood, and it was all up from there. A life of drugs and crime for me, a life of drug and crime for me. Come to find out later in life that I had looked to the streets for a father. For some reason, I felt like I was not loved at home. Later on in life, I realized this was not true. It was all me. I just realized I had some. I just realized if I had someone there to tell me more or discipline me more, maybe I would have came out different. I don't. I don't regret nothing. I don't regret nothing. I think this way because I'm trying to find out how to help out the next kid or man or woman. So when I started working on myself, I started to realize where my life went wrong. Don't don't get it twisted. You can come from a broken home and do good or still fall prone to the streets. Make it. Or you can still make it or you can still fall victim to the streets. Most likely, you know, a lot don't make it and a lot fall victim to the street. You can come from a rich home, middle class home and still get into drugs and a negative lifestyle. It can go both ways in life. You know, it could go both ways. This affects everything. The addiction just affects everything. I'm not talking about and I'm not talking about any religion or race because at the end of the day, drugs and living that negative lifestyle coming with that addiction could hurt anyone. And yes, we all have different stories, but we all get the same feelings when we use. I know I know it feels I know how it feels to be messed up, drunk, high, and etc., blind to the world, letting addiction take over my life, hurt all the positive people around me when I sold drugs, and the families that I sold drugs to took money away from their families, from for them feeding their families. You know, same for me. Then I was on top, then I hit rock bottom. So I thought I was on top. I wasn't on top because I wasn't because I was just hurting myself and hurting the family and hurting the people around me that love me, and I didn't realize it at the time. You know, since I was like 13, I did 8 years in and out of jail and rehabs. You know, like the age of 13 that all that started, and it took me to the age of 30 to realize I needed to change. I always had the will to change, the time, the will to change, the times before, and the will to change, and all the other times before, but I kept losing and failing at it. Then I realized it was people, places, and things that was my main problem. I needed to change my friends. I needed to change my friends because the times before that, I would come home from jail. I would start doing good. Then I take baby steps to go back and chill with these old friends. I love my old friends to death. I won't take nothing back that we did and all the stuff and all the funs we did. But if you doing anything negative, I can't I can't hang I can't hang with you. Now that's how I think now. Before I was not strong enough to say no. I did not care enough about myself to say no. And start once I would start doing this negative stuff, I would be off to the races. For me drinking and drugs and hustling, then back to jail. People and then I would go back to jail. All it is out there is people telling on you, people hating on you, and cops are after you. They are always looking for the bad guys. Believe it, they always are. I was so caught up in the game that I knew that cops could run up in my house, or someone could come in there and rob me with my kids and my mom home. I was in too deep. Like in too deep. Like jail is the only way out for me. Like the game or death was the only way out for me. I had to take the fact that my brother died. My brother had died in August 3rd, 2014. That's when he passed away. I went to jail 4/5, 2015. I thank God I went to jail, because I would have ended up dead as well. I went to jail. I started changing my life. When I walked in those doors, I knew it was time. I just knew it in my heart that it was time for me to change my life, and I was ready to and I was ready. I took all the tools that I learned from all the times I did the programs that I was locked up in, programs I've been in, and I started the process of working on myself. Plus, I had a program that was ahead of me when I went into jail this time. That was 18. That was 18 months. I told myself that it's okay to say no, and I had to start in jail. I seen dope, I seen Suboxones, I seen coke in there, I seen people make alcohol in there. So you know, so it all started in jail. I would just say no. I stayed away from it. It's even you know it's everywhere. You can't run or hide from drugs or negative things or negative behaviors like that. you know but you can work on yourself and shield yourself and prepare yourself for the world to fight another day, because I don't want to you know I don't want to die in the streets. I don't want to die in jail. Let me die of natural causes or something just happening to me out here, not by no gun or drugs or ODing. That is not how I want to check out. We all might be different, but addiction is not. Now I but but addiction is not. Now I drive a truck. I'm a crane operator, and I drive forklifts at my job. I'm a receiver technician. I got a 401k. I got life insurance. I got medical. I got dental. I got care. My kids are so well taken care of with insurance and all that. And I do my best to be there for my kids. I work out. I go to the gym. I spend most of my time with family and positive friends. Tell myself I'm blessed. Take it one day at a time. Set goals. I think positive. I don't give up. I do positive self-talk. I don't care what people think about me or my addiction, to a certain extent, because I'm just respectful as it is. I do what's best, and I just do what's best for me. What makes you happy, what makes you, and do whatever makes you happy. And just try to find the good in everything. Little boy dreams. At the end of the day, I went through all that, and I still got to drive a truck. That's the end of the story for me. Um, I got to drive a truck, and I ended up I'm living a positive lifestyle, and dreams do come true. Just dreams do come true. Just sometimes it might take longer than what you thought. Y'all, from the Lions Den.